Hey everyone, Steven Rue from IGN here, bringing you an updated ranking of the legends in Apex Legends. Season 1 has just launched, and with it, a new legend and slight balance changes to existing legends. This ranking is based on a combination of solo and squad play and is entirely subjective. The best legend is ultimately the one that you connect most with and that fits your playstyle. So without further ado, here's my ranking of the legends in Season 1. At the bottom of the list, we have Caustic. The Season 1 balance changes adjusted the hitboxes for Caustic, Gibraltar, and Pathfinder, but unfortunately, I don't think it's enough. Apex Legends is a game where aggression and evasiveness is rewarded because of the fast-flowing nature of combat, and Caustic still sticks out like a sore thumb. Although his gas traps did receive a buff of a faster cooldown and increased proximity radius, they really only shine in closed-off areas and buildings. Skilled Caustic players will block off doors and choke points with their traps, but shooting the base of these canisters will render them useless. If you enjoy setting up ambushes and playing relatively defensively, Caustic is the perfect legend for you. But with the fast pace of Apex Legends and his large hitbox, I have Caustic at 9. One of my more favorite personalities in the game, Mirage is still part of the bottom tier of legends. The game has been out long enough where players can usually distinguish a decoy from the real thing. This isn't to say that the decoy ability is bad though. In a firefight, a well-placed decoy can give you that split-second diversion you need to get the upper hand on your enemies. Decoy gives you the ability to outplay players, but Mirage's passive is absolutely useless, and his ultimate is extremely lackluster. The invisibility you get while in Mirage's ultimate is still very trackable, and because you can't shoot back until the camo ends, it more often than not puts you in a losing situation. At number 7 is Gibraltar. Gibraltar's ultimate is fantastic, and his dome pairs well with it as well. The dome can be used to protect your team while you loot, and his passive aiming shield essentially gives him more health. Unfortunately, his hitbox is still one of the largest in the game, and that combined with his aim down sight shield makes him a very easy target.
Reloading.
Next up is Bloodhound. Bloodhound is one of my favorite characters and I believe has the strongest ultimate in the game. The ultimate speed boost and vision of sight is so advantageous, I try to feed ultimate accelerants to the Bloodhound as often as you can. However, Bloodhound's tactical and passive abilities slightly overlap. The passive grants you vital information and the ability to hunt opponents down, but the tactical pulse can sometimes make it difficult to see the actual enemies when the orange outline lingers around. At number 5 is Pathfinder. Pathfinder got the slight nod over Bloodhound because of his ability to cover distances constantly and transport allies. Mastering the grapple makes Pathfinder an extremely unpredictable and deadly legend, and the zipline can be used as a means of escape or aggression. And he's still my favorite Apex personality.
Hold your breath if you have to breathe.
The newest kid on the block, Octane has already cemented himself as a solid legend. Octane's passive heals him over time as long as he's not taking damage. His tactical ability is a stim shot that deals 10 damage to himself but allows him to move 30% faster for 6 seconds. The ultimate drops a launch pad that is useful for reaching high places or covering distances quickly. Octane's stim shot is really where he shines though. The 30% speed boost allows you to get into fights and escape them quickly. A stimmed Octane that is strafing against you in a gunfight is extremely difficult to track, and his hitbox is relatively small. The launch pad is fine, but the passive ability regenerates health pretty slowly, so try not to spam the stim without any heals of your own. Starting out my top 3, we have Wraith. Wraith has the smallest hitbox in the game, already giving her an advantage, but her tactical ability can let her mitigate any sorts of damage, including the circle. Throwables are less effective against a good Wraith player as she can just jump into the void and evade them. Her ultimate lets you get to hot zones while having an escape route and can be used to bait unsuspecting enemies. In my previous ranking video, I stated that Wraith's passive was great for information, but after putting more time into her, it's not as helpful as I once thought it was. It does let you know if caustic traps are near, but even if you do get stuck in a gas trap, you can just into the void right out of there. Overall, Wraith is an extremely difficult character to kill, and her ultimate is definitely underrated. At number 2, I'm going with Lifeline. Her ability to use consumables 25% faster is so crucial in a firefight, and the shield she puts up during revives allows Lifeline to go for riskier revives that can turn the tide of a fight. Early hot drops like Skulltown and Bunker are easier to do because you can heal right back up with her drone. Her care package is great for getting your entire team legendary armor and helmets, but it does become a bit obsolete once you're geared out. Lifeline's kit is so solid individually and for a team, and that makes her one of my top 2 legends. This brings us to the number 1 legend, and that is Bangalore. Bangalore is the perfect blend of aggression and defense. The 30% speed boost she gets when getting shot at lets her outstrafe enemies in a fight or escape in combination with her smoke. Her smoke can be used to cover yourself and allies or just blind opponents. Combine her smoke with a Bloodhound ultimate or a threat level scope and you have an immediate combat advantage. Use her ultimate to dissuade enemies from chasing you or use it offensively and force enemies to leave their vantage point. Bangalore is versatile in every fashion and has no glaring weaknesses. Her kit is useful during all stages of the game, and that puts her at number 1 on this Apex Legends ranking. This is my list. Tell me what you think about it in the comments below or on Twitter. And for more Apex Legends coverage, make sure you keep it right here on IGN.